It is time for your Windy City Savage news. The cream of the crop has arrived. And let me introduce you to my co-host, the MVP of the show. Go ahead and introduce
Ladies and
yourself.
gentlemen, y'all know who it is. It's me, the Pointer Man SG3, coming at y'all. It's Monday after Raw. Y'all know what time is it. Go ahead, take it away, Windy City Savage.
Alrighty, and with that being said, let's go back to my regular voice. Let's get into some of the news today. Well, let's just kick it off with Monday Night Raw. All right, guys? So put it this way. Monday Night Raw started off with Braun Breaker starting up the segment. Just right away. After the intro hit, we seen Braun Breaker come out angry. We were starting off good. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. Hope you guys could hear me well. We did get a couple of comments. Wyatt, hello, guys. Hope you guys are well. You guys are muted on my side. I mean, I believe you on that, Wyatt. Now that is better. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you for the comments. We appreciate it.
Take it for the comments. Hey, give us some feedback of what you think of tonight's Raw, or hey, later on, think about give us some feedbacks about the Royal Rumble and all the backlash you think is well deserved, as well as
there's a lot of the wrestling community calling it.
I mean,
the Royal Fumble.
The Royal Fumble and all. Look, it's a lot to talk about tonight. But look, let's get back into Raw. All right, so we did get Adam Pearce coming out, but we got him coming out with security, calling out Braun Breaker, telling him, "Are you not had enough of this shit already? Can you just move on with it?" And with that being said, Braun Breaker put his attention to Adam Pearce, walked towards him and the security. But little did we know that lurking behind the rest of the vision, was a guy named L.A. Knight. Yeah. So my man L.A. Knight came out with the steel chair. He didn't come out alone. He came out strapped with the steel chair, comes out swinging, attacks the Vision members, and then gets away to the crowd. No one seen that coming. So did Adam Pearce. Supposedly he did not see that coming. How do we know if that's true? Who knows, right? But at that point, Braun was like, what the hell just happened? You can see in his face, he's like, God, like, I can't believe this just happened. Paul, what are we going to do, What do you think of this segment real quick, SG3, to open up Raw?
I feel like it's actually adding more and more each week, because we're having a lot of back and forth. And, dude, I like the fact that they're using Adam Pearce as his kind of like wrestling persona where he's cutting promos. Him and Paul are going back in the promo segment. I'm like, dude, I never thought anyone could really hold it on the mic with Paul. Dude, Adam Pearce is holding his own. And I'm actually liking the way he's actually talking back to Paul.
Well, yeah.
FAFO.
He was never a bad person on the mic. He's also a good wrestler back in the day. So honestly, yeah, it's about time he's elevated because some of these managers are never really used too much. I mean, Nick Aldis was for quite a while with Randy Orton, but nothing ever came about that with RKOs that he was given. So it's kind of nice to see finally things are developing and moving forward, and these managers are actually using the role because we haven't seen an authority figure for quite a while. We just seen someone
authority figure.
I guess the authority really. Yeah. So regardless, look, we move on. Javon Evans makes his entrance, and he's gonna face off with El Grande Americano. So El Grande Americano and Javon Evans face off during the match. Eventually, things were not looking good for Grande Americano.
Yep.
So what does he do? He has a distraction on one side, while the other guy gives him his face plate. So while he's about to insert it, on we come. We finally see the debut on Raw of the original Grande Americano, looking jacked than ever. You know,
yeah, he looks huge. We saw it at the Rumble. He looks huge.
Yeah, he looks really big. He looks awesome. He looks amazing. So he comes out, kind of distracts all the Americanos inside and outside of the ring. So during that time, it allowed the ref to turn around, see what's going on, and then eventually see the fact that my man over here had a faceplate trying to hide in his face mask.
Mm-hmm.
The referee takes it, and at that point, Javon Evans goes for the OG cutter, picks up the win, and on we go to the races to the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, by the way, guys. I think it was 42 minutes.
A little under 42 minutes.
42 minutes or so. So congrats to Javon. So far, it's in the right steps.
None of us had him as an Iron Man for the night.
Nah, I mean, we were hearing bad things about him and how WWE sees him. And I mean, we saw it too, because how are you going to have your signed contract on a commercial break of WWE Raw? Never made any sense. But look, Javon Evans picks up the win. Congrats to him. And we move on real quick to the comment section.
Nick comes out with hell yeah, Chad Gable looked jacked as hell.
Yeah, he did. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm saying this is Chad. This is Chad.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about?
Americano, man. This is the OG Grande Americano, brother.
Nick, I think you're confused. Chad Gable's been injured for quite a while.
His name isn't even mentioned anymore on TV.
I mean, this is the OG Grande Americano. I don't know why people keep saying it's Chad Gable. It doesn't look nothing like Chad Gable to
me. He doesn't even have a tattoo.
Nah. So regardless, look, a good segment. I just hope they pick this up in the right direction to eventually. I want this to lead the OG with this, imposter Grande Americano. I want this to lead somewhere where it's mass versus mass.
WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania, but I don't know. I don't have too much faith into storylines because I feel like they're going to vouch this somehow, some way.
Put on random ass Raw.
I mean, even that, I feel like they're just going to vouch it in general. Probably going to forget about it in a couple of weeks and pretend like, oh, yeah, we had this segment. We forgot. So regardless, we move on. All right. So, by the way, the highlight during that match to me was coast to coast from Javon Evans with that swanton. That was just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to see. All right, let's move on to that. All right, so let's put it this way. We had the Phenomenal One's music come out.
Yeah.
And so for a second, I'm like, interesting. AJ's going to show up on Raw tonight, I guess, to give out a speech or something. And next thing you know, we see a guy in black, and I'm like, well, that's not AJ because he's a lot taller, and he comes out posing, and onwards is Gunther coming out, obviously to taunt the fans, to mock AJ Styles, to mock his legacy, and he cuts his promos like just like Cena, just like Goldberg. AJ found out about the career killer.
Yep.
Which I kind of like the way he's going about this. Now that he's like the career killer, the guy's going to put everybody into retirement who messes with them, the older generation. And so far, he's 3-0. So got to give him credit what credit's due. Cut a pretty good heelish promo until Dragon Lee made his way into the ring to defend his partner, his ex-partner's honor.
His friend.
Yeah, his friend, his partner, his honor, basically. Went against Gunther, had the upper hand, until Gunther counters it and then eventually gets him to a sleeper, not once on the outside, by the way, but twice on the ropes.
On the apron.
Yeah, and the apron looks pretty good. Chokes him out. Security had to break it up. On a pretty decent promo, pretty decent segment. I'm not going to say it was great. I mean, I did like the beginning of it. I just felt like it kind of went like didn't get the fast invested for some reason, like as much as they wanted it to. I feel like not compared to when he retired Cena during that Raw. It just didn't feel the same, unfortunately. I feel like they just didn't get the fans to react that way, especially since they were in Philly out of all places. Yeah, so maybe it just felt a little flat. Who knows why, for what reason, but it was an okay segment for what it was. Got a few comments before we move on.
Most superstars never sign on TV, so if they sign Javon on TV, even though on commercial, it is still a big deal. That's from Nick. Comment number 2 from Nick. I was hoping for another masked man to make their Raw debut tonight.
Well, that's the thing. We hope. We didn't get any of that stuff. We didn't even get any hints of who could it be at all. Like, if you watched tonight, you never got even a hint or like who could it be or
mention about it.
Nah, nobody. It's just kind of like swept under the rug. I mean, I had like So put it this way, real quick. I don't want to get into the Rumble yet because I want to get to the Raw review first and talk about the Rumble. But the whole thing about the masked man coming out and not getting unmasked that night doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's kind of fell flat. Look, it's exciting, but if you're gonna have a masked man appear, you have to unmask him on the PLE.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to hold off and keep it going. It's the same way I felt about Survivor Series as how I felt about the Rumble with the masked men. And not only that, but I'm just getting sick and tired of seeing masked men running around everywhere.
Suppose there's going to be a WWE 2K26 with an overall 92.
Yeah, right. Well, he was already in the game back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so regardless, I'm not really too into the whole storyline, but of being masked men. Just look, let's get a review for God's sakes. Turn off the lights, turn it back on, bam, there's your superstar in the ring. Is that too much to ask for?
I'm not going to lie, though, but here's one thing, though. They were actually doing something right, and I liked it. They brought up Dragon Lee to defend the honor of his partner, to defend the honor of his friend, basically. Still, and like you could see, like they're trying to at least leverage and bring someone up. You know, bring like
leverage Dragon Lee. By the way, you just said that.
That's a leverage, yeah. Because notice he doesn't get the pop. He's always like that he's supposed to get.
But I mean, he didn't really get much of a pop. He just got
like he got a pop because of AJ. So it's like right now, if you want to continue to have him catapult and at least continue rising, if you want him to
Dragon Lee to rise, so
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that. I think this is more of him getting squashed because they got not that many people to feed Gunther right now. Besides AJ now, who do you have left?
So I'm not sitting here like, okay, so understand, I'm not sitting here saying the fact that he's going to catapult to the very top and win championships like no tomorrow. No. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying like if you want to make him a household name like a Ray, you know, always having to fight the Giants. I'm not sitting here the fact that he's going to have the same win record as Ray. But I'm saying, though, like, always having to fight, you know, David versus Goliath. That's what WWE always both.
So another Penta that loses against the big guys.
Pretty much.
That doesn't make any... Well, that's the thing. It doesn't make any sense,
height
though.
is the thing. That's the thing.
Let me just tell you this. What Ray did right in his WCW days, what WCW did right, by the way, is that they had the Giant Killer gimmick, but they actually had them be Giants.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen with Gunther.
No.
Yeah. So it's not the same product to me. We got another comment before.
What they should have done was have Braun run the entire Rumble and then have the masked man come out and screw him out the Rumble. That would have caused insane rage.
It would have. It probably would have been best to have Braun in general into the Rumble. Get that Obafemi spot. Even though I did like the Obafemi having the spot, I felt like it would have made more sense with Braun. Getting a couple of eliminations, probably like 5 of them. And then eventually Masked Man comes out, screws him over, bam, gets eliminated. And like Nick said, it would have caused more rage to happen, which will look a lot better. Then the next one he puts Wyatt.
Wyatt says, by the way, thank you again, Wyatt, for commenting. I think the Masked Man is Logan Paul.
So if you look at the beard, it does look like Logan Paul's beard as well. But also there's speculation that it could be Adam Pearce.
Ooh.
But as well, if you're going to put Logan Paul, what about this? What if somehow, some way, we get Jake Paul in the picture? Because he is, you know, the other brother. He does have the same similar beard.
Honestly, I don't remember Logan having a beard. I thought Logan was more clean shaved.
Clean shaved, yeah. But for some reason, though, it does look like Jake Paul, though.
I was going to say, it was like, beard-wise, that looks like Jake.
Yeah. Or it could be Buddy Matthews.
Ooh.
But I think Buddy Matthews still under contract with AEW. And he's injured, by the way. He has a really bad injury right now that he hasn't recovered it. I think it's been almost a year and over already. A year and over, not a lot, but just a little bit over already. So, I mean, that would be interesting if that would happen, but one can only hope. So then Heyman demands Adam to book a match between Braun and LA Knight, where Adam's like, you know what, Braun? You know what, Heyman? I just can't do that because I kicked LA Knight out of the building for causing chaos in my brand. I can't have that. And if your boy was smart, he would get out the building as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so Heyman had like, you don't know who you're messing with, especially in Philadelphia.
EC Dub.
And then as well as all right, let's continue on. Technical difficulties. Look, put it this way. Once Adam Pearce responded back, what did he say?
FAFO.
The same thing that Heyman brought into the Vibe, Adam's bringing it back,
Mhm.
running it back, like Jey Uso would say, let's run it back. So they ran it back, and next thing you know, we got some intense promos battles between Heyman and Paul, between Heyman and Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next segment, let's read another comment from Nick.
Heyman is all talk nowadays.
Wait, yeah, I mean, what else does he have though? He can't wrestle, unfortunately. I mean, he hasn't really done much damage either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, even when he talks, normally before he was talking before, he was like that badass that actually really cut good, really good to the T kind of fucking promos. He hasn't done that this year.
Right.
I think in the last about a year and a half, ever since he lined up with Seth Rollins, really hasn't done much of that.
Well, supposedly his contract is coming up in May, so if maybe he doesn't renew it, maybe he calls it quits. I mean, he's up there in age, man. He's not getting any younger. And at the same time, there's only so much you could elevate guys. Sometimes you got to do it on your own or find the next manager because you can never always depend on Paul Heyman to be there for the rest of the time being. At some point, we all got to move on.
Yeah.
What else does Nick say?
His guys can't back up his words anymore. He isn't a threat.
No, yeah, he's right actually, because right now Adam Pearce has all the power in the world. So put it this way: we cut back to our commercials. We come back from the commercials. We see Paul Heyman escort Braun Breaker out to an angry Braun Breaker. So it doesn't look good so far, man.
So angry he even missed the door.
Yeah, he kind of hits himself like, oh shoot. Yeah, so regardless, like how things are going with that storyline, I hope they keep it going. Because right now, this is probably was the best highlight of Raw. Because it kind of felt kind of dull throughout the whole night. It didn't feel like it picked up as much as I thought it was going to be for being in Philadelphia. Felt kind of flat, the crowd. So put it this way, man. This one shocked me, though. I'm not saying it was good, but it shocked me in a way where I'm just like, I didn't see this coming tonight. We have War Raiders coming up afterwards. Looks like they're going to give you a part of a tag match. But instead, Obafemi comes out, and I'm like, oh, shit, they're going to squash the Roar Raiders? And they did.
Yeah,
Obafemi came in, destroyed the War Raiders, pinned them in under, 3-5 minutes, not even that. But destroyed the War Raiders. That was just shocking to see. So right now, they're building Oba as the next monster, and I like the way things are going for that. So let's see. Right now, let's see if they keep picking up the momentum, because I always had my criticism of him being in the Rumble and how he got eliminated. And we'll talk about more about that in the next segment afterwards, after all this Raw stuff. We also got a Finn Balor promo.
Yep. A couple of them, actually.
Yeah, a couple of them throughout the night. But this one's mostly about him saying, look, this guy's always been the guy. You know what I mean? Always been the guy, but I never got the respect I deserve. So let's go. Yep. So regardless, like I said, Balor's always been the man, and he told Punk, look, I'm not trying to be a bad guy, but sometimes I got to do bad things in order for me to get to that title that I deserve. I like the way Balor's going about things. I hope to see him transition more into more of a, I guess you would say, right in the middle between a face and a heel. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how this goes, you know. But I like the direction. I just hope he gets showed up on TV, actually.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, not just cutting promos from afar. Another comments real quick.
Very quickly from Nick. When Paul Heyman was with Brock Lesnar, his words meant something.
Yeah. I mean, it did mean something. It had some authorities to it, especially with Brock Lesnar.
Eat, sleep, conquer the streak, repeat.
Yeah, but he had more. It felt more power because Brock was a threat.
Yeah.
But with the Vision, it doesn't feel like a threat at all.
Even though you have some very huge powerhouses in that faction, but it's like they just really lowered him down, dude, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like a threat. It's not as much as it used to be. So I kind of agree with Nick there. All right, so we got the Bellas heading out. Not with the great crowd reaction, unfortunately. They did announce that they're coming after the women's tag team title. And when that happened, they did not get any crowd reaction. I feel like they were trying to get the Saudis crowd reaction when the Saudis did go crazy for all two women. Did not transition back to the States as well as they thought they were going to be. The segment fell flat. The segment felt like a joke. The only close of a pop that we got was Bree's yes chant. Yep. But that didn't pick up all the way. Overall, it felt like crickets. it wasn't that many boos. It wasn't that many cheers. It just was like crickets. It felt weird, this segment. And the fact that they're announcing they're going after the tag team titles, I don't think anyone enjoyed. So overall, the segment just was awful. I'm just gonna say this was the worst segment so far of the night. And that's as much as I could say about this.
I still feel that Nikki has main character syndrome.
Main character syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Notice she kept talking, trying to overtalk Bray.
I mean,
Bray would say something, and then Nikki had to just cut her off right away. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're back to the Nikki show. Couple comments. So Braun Breaker is a big crybaby, or big baby. Sorry.
Okay.
And then Nick says also, I love Brie mode.
I do like Brie mode. I prefer Brie over Nikki any day. I think Brie is a better wrestler. Brie is better, on the mic. She's more natural.
Yeah.
Because Nikki feels a little bit more forced, but Brie just feels a little bit more natural. And then as far as wrestling, I like her style of wrestling, probably just because it's the closest we'll ever get to a women's side of Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him now.
Did you catch? I don't know, like if they're trying to come in as heels or faces. Because did you catch the little? So again, I was confused about like basically whether they're faces or heels because Nikki comes in and it's like, are you guys booing for us? Or are you guys booing the fact that the Eagles didn't make the Super Bowl? I was like, oh, so are you guys heel? And then like you're listening to Brie talk and they're kind of cheering, and then like Nikki's trying to be face. I'm like, so
I don't really think that came out as the heel as face. I think that was more of trying to save themselves as face because they didn't expect to get boos. Like I said, they expected to get that Saudi cheer, but when they got kind of booed, they didn't even get booed. They got kind of booed because they didn't get much of a reaction, which is worse than getting booed. They're like, that whole segment felt cringe.
It was.
And it felt like they were trying to save themselves as face. They were coming out as face, but they didn't get the reaction they wanted to. Mm-hmm. So now they look like fools in general. They don't even look like good faces or heels. They just look like fools. They should embrace the heel side, call an audible and say, you know what? We're just going to go heel, full on heel now. But instead, they just try to save face. It didn't work. It felt cringe. The whole segment felt awful. Yeah. A couple of comments.
I love Wyatt says, I love Brie is back, but Nikki is a different story.
Obviously.
Nick, they'll be tag champs soon. Yeah, they will be.
I believe it.
Nikki was a bad guy before she left.
Yeah.
Heel Bella Twins as tag champs, I dig it. Yeah.
If it's heel Bellas, yes. If it's them still trying to be face, forget about it. I mean, as heels, they do well, and I think the segments will do a lot of good, and it'll help elevate the other women's on the roster for tag team. But if in fact they're trying to go face, it's just going to be boring. A lot of these matches. I mean, they're not great wrestlers compared to what we have today in the women's roster in general. So. Yeah. I don't see it, man. I just don't like the fact that they're going after the titles. But look, we have both of them in WWE right now, and I'm sure they invested a lot of money into Brie coming back.
Supposedly, that's what I've been reading, that she's on a really big contract.
That's what I'm saying. So they invested a lot, so we have to have her wrestle. And unfortunately, we all have to watch that. I do like Brie, though, but I just feel like she's still going to have a little bit of ring rust.
Did you hear what she said?
What?
I'm home.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's why she never signed with AEW.
Well, I mean, obviously she was a mom, so yeah. And I'm sure they're giving her that part-time contract right now, so it works out for her pretty well. So what else we got for comments real quick?
Yeah. Who would have thought AJ Lee and the Bellas on the same roster 13 years later, laughing my ass off fucking.
So look, put it this way. After this segment, we did get a Penta versus Bronson Reed match. Mm-hmm. Match was okay. I wish he's out this week for having it because we forgot to do it. Just keep on. So that match felt kind of short, SG3. I just didn't feel like it picked up as much. And it felt like we watched it several times that starting to get dull, this whole, Vision, Penta, and Vision, and it's always the same outcome. Because now, obviously, there's no Braun, but yet we have the rest of the Vision outside protecting Bronson Reed, interfering during the match, trying to cost Penta the win. But we did get LA Knight returning back, even though he was kicked out of the arena.
Yeah.
So here's a theory, though. Do you think he was actually kicked out, or you think Adam Pearce lied to them? And then afterwards he was kicked out to make it seem like he intruded? Or you think like Adam Pearce had a plan the whole time where like, hey, come back and interfere and screw these guys
I think
over?
so. I think that's more like the plan. Like, hey, come back.
And so put it this way, because of that, it distracted the Vision to go after LA Knight for Penta to basically pick up the win with the count out. Because once LA Knight did come in, he hit Bronson Reed.
The BFT on the chair.
Yep. And that took out the big man, and he could not get his ass back inside the ring on time for that 10 count. And we got a count out victory for Penta. I mean, look, a victory is good. I just prefer a pin, but it is what it is. Overall, the match was just kind of it just didn't seem to get me invested, nor did the crowd. I just felt like it was kind of dull.
I feel like by then, though, the crowd was actually kind of dull after the whole Brie thing.
I felt like the whole night, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times where they were like really, really just dull, but like definitely the momentum really just went after the Bellas came in.
Yeah, but I mean, like the whole night was just.
They were. Yeah,
it was.
Philly has never been that kind though. Like even when they had WrestleMania, they weren't hyped.
I don't know. Well, WrestleMania 4, they were hyped.
Not night 1, night 2.
Well, because night 1 was cold. They were freezing their ass off. I can't say that. Let's read some comments before we go to the next segments.
I'm sure she'll be training with DB. How did you feel about the fan who was forced to apologize to Roxanne after he told her stop flopping?
Was that actually a thing? I didn't hear about it. So let's just go into this real quick.
Wyatt said, it was hilarious when I saw that. Nick's responds, Roxanne is young as hell, so she's going to need to work on being more mature and taking insults as a heel. It's part of the business. And there's a video on social media from Saturday's main event last week. Oh, okay. I have to look into that.
I mean, if the fan heckles you at a wrestling event and they don't say anything like, inappropriate, I don't think it's that bad. Like, let's put someone out there, Flop Dollar, like if someone called Flop Dollar, which is Top Dollar, his old name, like Flop Dollar, you suck, you can't wrestle. And that's all they say. I don't think that's as bad. So if someone said that to Roxanne, stop flopping, I don't see it as bad as something else could be inappropriate. You know what I mean? And if that fan had a forced apology, I feel this culture just got a lot more soft for wrestling.
According to Nick, he said, stop flopping, and she replied, shut the fuck up.
If she replied, shut the fuck up, so why does this fan have to apologize? Like, because look, I don't think Roxanne's a bad wrestler. I think she is young, but I think she's actually a lot more mature wrestler than they give her credit. I think she's really good. I think she's one of the best women wrestlers. Yeah. And I think she's good. I don't think she does a lot of bouches. Like, I see more bouches tonight on Raquel and Stephanie's match than I did see on any Roxanne Perez fucking match. So I don't understand where this is coming from the fan side. But does he have a right to his opinions? Yes. If it's not inappropriate or out of context, yes.
Hold on, how come? Yeah, look at Kevin Owens. When Kevin Owens went up to that one guy, I think it was in Chicago. He went up to the one fan and almost cussed him out. Kevin didn't respond. Kevin didn't demand an apology.
No, and even then, I feel like that was a little bit more inappropriate, kind of towards the fan. If I was going to agree with Kevin.
Who knows what the fan said to Kevin that really made him just twinge?
Well, he did say something about you're just faking it. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're lying. That's what he said. Which I did feel it was kind of inappropriate, but at the same time, it felt like it was on the edge. This doesn't even feel like it's close to the edge.
It's not even close, man.
Yeah. Let's keep reading because we got a little bit more comments with that.
Yeah, Liv went to the fan and Liv went to that fan and told him to apologize to her. That's what happened. Yeah, Liv and Roxanne both confronted the fan. I think it was on Raw 2 days later.
Interesting.
I definitely have to look up. I didn't hear about that.
We're gonna have to look up that some other day and get into that because I didn't know about that. But that sounds interesting. It doesn't make sense why they made that person apologize or why that person should apologize. Because I don't think it was anything out of context. I mean, you're a wrestler, a heel. They're going to go after you. They're going to say stuff. And for you to take that too personal and can't take the criticism just seems kind of stupid. You're in the business where you're entertaining people. And sometimes you can't entertain everybody. So you can't force people to like you and your style of wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially if someone's paying top dollar to keep going through. I'm gonna have to maybe I'll tell them to take 5 and restart it. So yeah, regardless, I just think it's kind of dumb. What else we got?
It was about her match. You could have used that to her benefit and say something within character. Yeah, he was sitting front row, so I can imagine how much he paid for those seats.
And for that, for him to be put in blast and in public, out of all things, and I'm sure a lot of fans online attacked him, being like, sort of like white knights. I don't really like using that term, but being white knights for Roxanne towards against that person and cause a lot more harassment to be involved, is my guess. I don't know the full story, but I can only assume. Maybe I'm wrong here, but maybe that's what happened. Because I can only imagine how the internet's at, especially the wrestling internet. They go after that person in general. But like I said, I don't think it's seen anything wrong with that. Like, you have a right to the criticism. And at that point, if WWE's going about it that way, it just looks really bad.
Well, who knows if it was WWE? Because again, I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it before. When Nick and Wyatt are telling us, it looks like it was just Liv that went over and were like, "Hey, you have to apologize."
But at the same time, WWE allows this to happen instead of telling Liv and Roxanne, like, "Hey, cut the shit out." You guys are heels. They're really the ones that could overthrow all this, and they're allowing it. It still kind of looks bad on their part. I can understand if the fan, we had incidents where the fans took pictures inappropriately. We had incidents the fans said some things they shouldn't say to women wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't sound like one of those inappropriate or,
Remember that one where that smacked Alexa in the butt?
Yeah, that's inappropriate. That shouldn't happen, and that deserves to get kicked out and expelled and whatever, and never return to a WWE event again. Literally. And I'm for that. I'm all for that. But this wasn't.
This wasn't. This much heat, it doesn't deserve it. And it was during commercial break.
That's interesting. Jesus, everything happens in commercial break. You guys get to find that out because you guys has VPNs, and we're over here paying for the actual.
I think Nick is in the States, so I don't think he's VPN.
No, he does have VPN.
Oh yeah, Nick does.
He did say that before. But that's what I'm saying. You guys get to see this stuff, and we don't. And I'm starting to consider to get a VPN for that because this is pretty good news. I did not know that this actually happens. That is just crazy. To force someone to apologize for an incident like this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it, but whatever, it happened. Can I send you guys?
Yeah, please. Why? Send us the video. Sorry,
yeah, send us the video. If you have we have our Instagram on the bottom description. If you want it, you can send it there as well. That way we can see it later on after the show, maybe or during the episode. But honestly, this is crazy. That way we get a little bit more context of things of how it goes. We'll probably get back into that tonight. We'll probably take a really quick look at the video. Yeah. But let's just finish off this Raw review. For sure. Let me do that. Thank you, sir. So let's put it this way. After that segment, we did get Raquel versus Stephanie Vaquer. We did get before the segment of Liv and Raquel. Well, we got Dominic Mysterio first coming out. Dom reappeared only to congrat his woman. Mm-hmm. And for her to, be out there to choose who she wants to face up next, who she wants to challenge for that main event, well, for the women's at least, title scene. And she decided not to choose anyone yet and to hold her decisions to being open, And at that point, she welcomed in Roxanne, her best friend. Roxanne did bring up the point, like, hey, by the way, I never got a closure, but we all celebrated you the whole week, but why did you eliminate me? And Liv responded.
That's a big bullshit answer I heard. Sorry.
Liv's response was this. Well, put it this way. You're not selfish, Raquel. You can't just, have all the fun to yourself. You have to spread, the joy with me. And so that explains why she eliminated her. Because at this point, Raquel has the number one contender, which Liv said, I know you're going to win and know you're going to be the new champion. And then at that point, I have the Rumble win. So we both have all the fun together. Raquel said, all right, cool, agreed. Liv, just one thing, stay out of my match. Mm-hmm. And so we had Stephanie Vaquer come out with the new theme song. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the theme song. It sounded so fucking generic. I hated it. I think it's stupid. It sounds one of those Def Rebel generic themes. It has to go. It has to return the old theme song. I don't understand why they keep doing this to us. always taking something good.
Like giving us something bad.
Some generic crap fucking theme song. I'm sick and tired of it. All right, that might be an episode where we got to bring back the good old theme song days.
I
You
miss
know,
Mr. Johnson.
I mean, he's old. And I don't think he's ever gonna do stuff for us, but someone is equal as him. You know what I mean?
I miss Mr.
AEW has a good fucking guy who
Yeah.
does theme songs. I mean, somebody like him on his level. So regardless, we get a street fight, Philadelphia street fight, by the way. Weapons involved. The first weapon that we got was a table.
Yeah.
The Slim Jim table. And after that, kенdos, chairs, everything came out. Things went crazy. The best part of the night to me, look, this whole match felt kind of dull too. A lot of bouches. A lot of things just didn't connect from these women for some reason. Great wrestlers, but just didn't connect. The best spot during this match is not on the steel chair only, but on the steel steps.
Mhm.
Best highlight of the match, honestly. But everything else just fell out so flat and short. Towards the end, we got Liv Morgan interfering, grabbing the belt, telling Raquel to, hey, hit her with this. Raquel's like, what are you doing? I told you to stay out. At that point, it gave Stephanie back her enough to get Raquel distracted, hit her with some kicks, lay her up to the table, and that's when Stephanie was about to go set her up before Roxanne came out.
Mm-hmm.
Distracted her, and then let Raquel get a breather in, get her from the top rope, and it looked like at some point we might get a power bomb.
At the Highland Bomb.
Yeah, well, it looks like a power bomb because the Highland Bomb grabs her by a certain angle, but this one looks like a clean power bomb. But at some point, it looked like Stephanie was going to counter
To Hurricane Rana.
but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Then somehow, Raquel, with her strength, lift her back up, and it looks like we might have a new champion until Stephanie, last minute, bam, Hurricanrana, got her to the table, and at that point, set her up, went for her finisher, retains the title.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, what do you think about this? I mean, predictable. We kind of knew it was going to happen.
Predictable, but a lot of botches. I really couldn't get behind the match. Like, I just wasn't invested in the match.
Me neither.
I feel like it was. I feel like no matter what you tried, it's like they just didn't do it, man. They just didn't do it. So I don't know if it's Raquel. I don't know if like maybe just they don't know how to book her just yet. Because when I was watching with my girl and with Mija, we were watching it, and when she got up, I'm like, oh, dude, Tahana Bomb right now. I was thinking something. It's like when they try to go over the power bomb, I'm like, oh, okay. I was thinking maybe Super Tahana Bomb. I was thinking something along those lines. I was like, this is about to just make it even more. Because that could have at least catapulted the match a little more. Like, oh, an attempt to a Tahana Bomb, but it gets reversed, any shape, way, form. Something happens. But it's like, your best spot was, aside from the Devil's Kiss, to me, the best spot was on top of the ropes where it looks like Hurricane is about to happen, that doesn't happen, and it gets stopped. You're like, dude, she's about to push her right to the table. Something else is about to happen, whatever. You could go from there.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. However, though, let's be honest, she didn't even break the table. She kind of just cracked it.
Yeah, she did. So it was pretty bad, and a lot of bouches. The dumbest one to me was where it looked like Raquel was going to throw Stephanie into a chair that she set up in the corner, but the chair fell off. But at the same time, Stephanie reverses Raquel, and then she stops getting scared of the chair, even though the chair wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
It just looked very lackluster. These women did not connect tonight, did not get the crowd invested, and it felt really flat. Real quick comments right now.
Couple comments. So Liv splits and goes with Dom. Does that mean Raquel and Roxanne stay as a tag team?
Well, that's a good question. And it sees where Roxanne really has her, loyalty going on. Is it with Liv? Is it Raquel? What happens with Dom?
What happened with Judgment Day?
Well, really just Dom, because it doesn't feel like JD's out right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like Finn Balor's really a part of the Judgment Day right now. So it's just really what happens with all four of them right now going on. And how would the breakup affect each one? Maybe Raquel does go solo.
Yeah.
And maybe she somehow turns kind of face and just goes on doing her thing and still tries to chase after the title scene, chase after Liv or Stephanie Vaquer. Time will tell, obviously.
Second comment was Nick actually correcting me. Jim Johnson. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wyatt says the match was really boring to me. Nick, kind of second. I'm seconding what he said at this point. The table cracked but didn't break fully. Laughing my ass off.
That was the biggest vouch. The Slim Jim tables don't break as often as the regular tables, I guess.
I guess, yes, because all that Slim Jim, all that protein, man.
You would think, because, breaking into a Slim Jim.
I would just say, though, honestly, at this point, if I was WWE, I would put Liv as the face because the fans are starting to rally behind her. They're really starting to, and that's what happened with Rhea. The fans started really getting behind her, and everyone wanted to see Rhea and wanted to see Mommy. They're like, dude, we're going to just catapult you to the top. Right now, you had that with Liv. Do that. Keep Raquel and Roxanne as heels, and you know what?
Have Liv go face though.
Yeah, because I can do it. The fans are trying to chant, "You deserved it." She's trying to really embellish the glow and go forward.
But the reason the fans got invested with her is because of her heel work. If you turn her face, she would have to change her demeanor, and all that cool vibe that she had would change into her old face persona, which I thought it was okay, but I enjoyed more of her heel work.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Like an anti-hero you want to make her?
In a way, but I just prefer her fully heel. It's just fun. And that's what made the crowd more invested in her in the end.
We're going to keep doing this all night.
It's cool. So yeah, regardless, I'm just saying, dude, it makes more sense for her to keep going, keep doing the same thing, and keep it hustling, because I feel like the fans are invested in this heel character. Raquel's just going to be stuck in the middle. She has to really get on her own, and she has to find herself. I don't think she works great as a heel. I just don't. She's more, I don't know. I think she's just more of a natural face. I don't see her as a heel. I don't see her working for her right now. I don't see her being as a top champ. I don't. I really don't. So I don't know where this is all going to go in the end. Because look, regardless, we had Liv winning the Rumble. Mm-hmm. But in the end of the day, there's really still not that much of a storyline here. Because in the end of the day, they haven't done anything with Stephanie Vaquer for the last couple of days. The last couple of weeks.
I was going to say it's been weeks.
Weeks, months.
Yeah.
So there's no storyline with Stephanie Vaquer besides her and Raquel going at it. But even then, it's always a little bit of segments here and there fighting each other. So where are we going to go with all this in the end? It's a really good question. This whole segment, if something doesn't develop in the next weeks coming, it's going to all just go flat, and we're not going to have a good build-up for WrestleMania time.
No.
When Liv finally decides who her picks is. But after this match was over, Liv did attack Stephanie Vaquer and did hold that title up, which makes it seem like she's going to go after that title.
Yeah.
So, yeah, before we get into the last segment, we got another comment.
But a face, Dom, and Liv would work, Nick. And then where is Bianca?
Well, that's a good question. So, I don't know. I just don't see the face working. I don't know. I feel like if they're both going to do their thing, it makes more sense that Dom does his thing and finally turns face. So put it this way. I have a good theory about Dominic Mysterio when he's going to turn face.
What?
So it makes more sense for Dom to turn face against a guy that's probably one of the biggest heels right now in the industry, and that is Gunther.
Okay.
So yeah, regardless, what I'm saying is at that point, have them basically go after Gunther. And let's have Gunther with the title. Eventually, that's when you want Dom to turn face against the biggest heel in the industry. As far as Liv, I don't know. I just think she does better work as a heel. The fans were invested her in the face, but it wasn't as much as right now. It's all the love she's getting. I just don't see it yet. Where's Bianca? It's a good question. She's probably still healing up from her fingers from getting injured. So I don't know when she's going to come back. I don't think it's going to be by WrestleMania time. Yeah, I think at this point she's going to miss this year's WrestleMania and probably come back afterwards. It's like one of those.
Or the SmackDown
Yeah, I think it's the Smack. I mean, the Raw after. Sorry, because they want the big returns, and it makes more sense for her to return there. So look, after the segments, we did get Roman, the OTC, come out. All right, he makes his way in the ring. He asks the crowd, "Who do you want to see me face?" He gives out the name Drew McIntyre. Gets booed loudly. He gives out CM Punk. Gets cheered loudly. And then before he can make the decision, out comes CM Punk. Confronts Roman Reigns. And at that point, he tells Roman, you could choose the easy route, which would be Drew McIntyre, or you could choose me. But at the same time, Roman's like, well, Drew ain't an easy route, my buddy. He's twice your size. So this is when the back and forth promo battles between Roman and Punk started. And look, I'm not really invested in this match because I don't feel like they're going to develop this very well. But if we could get more of what we got tonight, each single week, or every other week, or hell, at least to start after the Elimination Chamber, start building it up every single week and start having Roman actually appear. Because this whole back and forth segment, we had mentions of Drew McIntyre's history with Punk, as well as his history against the Bloodline, and how CM Punk said, well, you had help with your cousins because you manipulated your family. And Roman told him, hey, don't speak about my family like that. And as well as Roman telling Punk, well, first, CM Punk did tell him, you're intruding in my show. I'm the one that comes here every week and fights off. We got a good little back and forth stuff. We even get a whole, what's it called? Subros mentions, which was crazy. Zebros. Stuff was crazy. The promo battle was good. Anytime when you have Punk in the mix, it's going to be good. Punk could hold himself well in the mic. His wrestling is probably downgrading little by little because you kind of can see it week by week when he does wrestle. But when the man steps on the mic, it's pure gold. This has been the best mic work, I want to say, from Roman Reigns
in a long time.
I think overall, ever. I don't see Roman Reigns battle anyone this well like he did. I'm not saying he did better than Punk. I think Punk outshined him still. But I felt like Roman still hold as much as he can against Punk on his own, especially towards the end to, finish it off. I think I like the way this direction's heading if it actually heads into the right direction. But that's only time will tell. I don't think Roman's going to show up next week. And I don't think he might not even show up the next week after that. But look, after Chamber's done and we're on the road to WrestleMania, he needs to get his ass on television and show up and cut some damn promos. He doesn't have to wrestle. But we need some more damn promo battles between him and Punk. Or else this whole match is going to fall flat. It's going to happen. We had our decision. Roman is choosing Punk. And what's funny was this. Remember a couple of years back when that title got introduced and Roman said that's just a secondary title. Now the man's fighting the secondary title. But then again, he did say, if you want the title to mean something, I have to hold it.
Yeah.
But, a year back. So it's kind of crazy that we finally got all this to play.
Did you notice he broke fourth wall?
Okay, well, what, though?
He called him Phil.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't call him Punk. He called him Phil.
Yeah.
And Punk looked at him like, you're really going to break fourth wall? Fine, I'll break it too.
What was Punk respond to that? I forgot.
Punk responded by saying the fact of like, look, you stole my bit with Paul Heyman and you just ran with it longer, but not better. You basically needed always all your help with your cousins. What you did for 1,316 days was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't good.
And I think
did it for 434 days, and I did it better. I'm still the best in the world. You're in this company because of me. I'm the one that called you and the Shield to come up.
Well, actually, if you do notice that, Roman got him back, says, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here anymore. Like he said, 2 years ago when we brought you back, it was on me to decide. So Roman did have the decision to bring him back during that time, it looks like. He had a say, and I do believe it. Because during that time, he was the top dog.
Yeah.
He was the man that everybody did look up to. He was the locker room leader. So I do believe Roman when he did say that, actually. And he also said, too, and I haven't forgot about the shit you said back in the day in your little best friends podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did bring out some bad blood. I feel like these guys are in good terms now. But it was nice to see these guys let real heat come about that they were holding back for so many fucking years. It was nice to see the promo battle. It was nice to see Roman holding his own, come a long way from him basically choking against
Cena.
Yeah, or
Right,
in general.
sure.
Yeah, in general when he said some dumb shit. Remember when he said suffragette?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a lot of dumb stuff that he
The
did.
Super Succotash came out to. Oh yeah, that's when LA Knight when he made fun of him. We got a lot of comments. Hold on, wait. Roman aura farming in the middle of Punk's promo, laughing my ass off. Wyatt, dang, that segment with them tonight, it got really personal. It was insane. Nick, after this promo, I'm sold. I think Roman cooked Punk. Wyatt, I totally agree. Roman needs to show up every week and cut a damn promo. Nick, but Roman's reign was long and it was great. Punk doesn't want to work part-time because he took a 10-year vacation. Laughing my ass off.
Well, that's what he said basically. Roman did call him out too. Because at the same time, Punk did call out Roman about being a part-timer. That's when Roman clapped back with that whole 10-year vacation type of thing.
Yeah.
So in a way, Roman did hold his own. And overall, I like this whole thing. Like I said, if this segment needs to grow, Roman needs to show up. And if he doesn't show up now, that's fine. But he needs to get his ass back into the title scene once Elimination Chamber is over and we're actually on our road to WrestleMania to make this whole match in Vegas, whether it's night 1 and 2, and it's going to be night 2.
It's going to be night 2 for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be night 2 because Punk's already main evented night 1, so it makes sense for him to main event night 2 finally. But he needs to show up because if we just got this whole little sample, and it kind of reminds me of the John Cena thing.
Yeah.
Where last year, Cena turned heel, showed up a couple of times, but cut those "you guys get nothing" promos, and it fell flat. And when we got to WrestleMania, it just didn't have much of the excitement it should have had because he wasn't there every single week.
Yeah.
So for this to get a lot better, his ass needs to get on TV.
Maybe he doesn't like The Rock and just shows up via satellite.
I mean, I guess I'll take it, but I prefer him to be there because you felt the animosity.
Of course, man.
You felt the heat. You felt the electricity going between each other's eyes. You felt it, man. You like, damn, like, jeez, man. If you get in the middle, you're gonna get shocked. It was bad. It was really bad. But this is what we need. Look, if you want us to get invested after the backlash, it's a good way to start it.
That's true.
So let's talk about the Royal Rumble backlash. Let's start off with the women. All right, so let's just name some positive stuff. All right, so Remote return.
So Ruka stole the show.
Ruka stole the show. She was the Iron Woman this year, and I really think she's the future of wrestling. And I think she could not do any wrong right now. She's just on a roll. Lash Legend's overrated. That was pretty bad. Yeah, that's what the crowd was chanting. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Charlotte Flair wasn't in your top 4. In your final 4.
Final 4, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. You think that's a bad thing?
No, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. So to me, that's kind of in the middle. Like she should be, but yet I don't want to see her. Lash Legend's new name is the Grimace. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
It's because she's taller.
I know the purple thing.
Funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, that's the thing. The bad too is that they were wearing too much. That's the whole thing. Is that we're in the. Look, man, I get the whole point of it, but the issue is with the whole Saudi thing is just that we had the political views.
Yeah.
And there's whole women back, unfortunately. And they started it off in the beginning of the show because you notice the crowd wasn't all there because they didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of empty seats during that whole Women's Royal Rumble, which I thought was just, come on, unnecessary.
One thing actually kind of cracks me up is the fact that you just still hear Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, it cracks me up. Did you see the little video that they did in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Where Asuka's pulling Kyrie by the hair and they're like, Asuka, it was an accident.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
One of the bad, Becky gets eliminated pretty early, I feel like.
Yeah.
She should have been in the final 4 for all the
final 6.
Final 4, because all the stuff, she was the MVP last year.
She really was.
Of WWE, she was the MVP. for all the stuff she's done, she should have been in the Final Four. She got eliminated too early, in my opinions. I don't know why, but I felt like that was kind of a bad idea. What else we had? So far, that's it that I could figure out. It wasn't the greatest women's rumble, but it wasn't the worst. It was like between okay and good, if that makes any sense.
It was between like just man and okay.
Yeah, like I thought it was good, but not great.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Let's see what other comments we got.
We got because Lash ain't any better than Jade.
Lash ain't any better than Jade. I don't know, man. Jade ain't even better than anybody as much. Like, I don't even think Jade is really that great of a wrestler either. Powerhouse, yeah. Powerhouse wrestler, yes. Like, just being jacked and powerful with their moves, that makes a lot more sense for her. But wrestler overall, there's a lot of vouchers there. What else we got?
Women work so hard to build themselves up and get totally treated as secondary and Saudi.
That's just my issue. And look, we're not a political channel. We don't really want to get political. But another bad thing. We had a lot of rumors of AJ Lee. Did not show up. I do feel like this whole Saudi thing is the reason she didn't want to show up.
If they would have been like in Philadelphia, she would have showed up.
She would have showed up to any other place. But the fact that is a place where they held women down and they treat it as secondaries and they make them dress certain ways is why she didn't show up today. I mean, the crowd was not invested as much as they should have been. And I feel like there's a reason why. And like I said, we're not a political channel and I'm not trying to get into it too much, but that's just part of it though. That's really it. Let's move on to the next match. Styles versus Gunther. Overall, for Styles being its last match in WWE, well, we'll talk about this right now afterwards, and theories and thoughts. Wasn't a bad match. It was pretty good.
That was really good.
It told the story, and it told it really well, and we had a great outcome. No one was mad. We knew Styles was going to lose, but at least this time he went out on his own instead of tapping out.
Yeah.
I mean, the bad, I guess you could say, is the table spot that went wrong and cut him. But as far as I want to know, like, that's about it. There was not too much anything bad on this whole segment. And if anything, I felt like the crowd was really invested during this match. They got really invested.
Well, to quote Nick's comment from Saturday, after the match, it was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. It really was that quiet. Not to read Nick's next comment. Saudi doesn't know a lot of the new talent, and that's true. They really don't. Just the big names. I bet that's why they pop for the Bellas.
Well, yeah, because they know the Bellas, but if you notice anyone from like NXT, they got kind of a quiet reaction. They just didn't know.
They knew Oba because Oba's been showing up on the main roster, but like I didn't know.
Well, Oba's been getting a lot of promos on like SmackDown and Raw, but like Kiana James and stuff, like they didn't know any of those women wrestlers, so they didn't really pop for none of them. So overall, it's just not a great place to host these type of rumbles, honestly. Lola Vice, that was another one I forgot. Lola Vice didn't get much of a pop either. But yeah, it just fell flat. But this whole Styles match, okay, Styles loses. Styles looks like he's gonna hang up his gloves and boots, but instead picks them back up, goes to the turnbuckle, gives us this little, too sweet gesture. Does the too sweet as well, and then eventually just walks off. So there's a lot of theories going on. All right, so one theory is this: he's not fully retired. He's planning to go in different promotions, probably AEW and TNA, to end his career. But Rosenberg did mention recently that he did talk to AJ Styles at some point. And they talked, and Styles says, "No, I'm done. My career's ended. Like, there's nothing else. All right, it's over with." But I don't know how much I believe Rosenberg. I do believe Rosenberg that he did say that. But it's just awkward that the man leaves his gloves.
Puts his gloves back on.
Yeah, like leaves it. It looks like he's about to leave it, but then puts it back on. It doesn't make any sense. Like, that doesn't seem like a man who's done. That just seems like a man who's done with WWE and wants to move on. But the fact that he tells Rosenberg, like, nah, I'm done wrestling. Like, that's it. Nothing else. It just doesn't make any sense, you know? Like, is there an angle here? What's going on? The fan in me would have wanted Styles to put the gloves back on and grab the mic and said, you know what? Gunther may have retired me tonight, but I got one more chance. I'm entering the Rumble.
Yeah.
And that would have got a great pop. You know, when he said that, it actually came out during the Rumble that night. And it would have been like the holy shit moment of like
the night.
Yeah, night. And even PLEs, because we never seen something like that before. And it throws a big swerve. But then again, that's asking too much for these WWE writers to do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we're not writing for WWE, but we wish we would.
Honestly.
So that being said, your theories now, hearing this info, do you really think Styles is retired, or you think we're getting worked, or you think he really is gone? It's hard.
Two things. I got two comments. One, Nick was talking about you and putting the gloves down. He said that made me tear up.
Yeah, obviously.
Why responded, the ending of the Styles versus Gunther match, absolutely hated it.
Interesting. Why? You care to elaborate a little bit more and tell us why you hated it? I just want to know, you know, to see your point of view, basically. So any other comments from you, SG3?
Here's mine. I think honestly he's done, dude. I mean, you see him like he's tired. And even he said, dude, I'm done here. I'm not. He said it multiple times leading up to it because they're like, dude, you're going to go to AEW. You have the match with Kenny Omega. You have this, you have that. He's like, whoa, pump the brakes, dude. This is my last company I'm ever working for. All that AEW shit you've heard, like, it's just rumors. Let me squash that really quickly. Let me tell you guys, I'm not doing anything. Once my deal is done here, I'm done.
So why did he not?
I think the reason why he didn't do it is at this point I can say, you know what, maybe he just, to him it was like, you know what, to give the fans one more moment of cheer. And at this point it's like, CM Punk said it best. How is it that we lost Cena and then 2 months later we're losing AJ Styles? Like, it's going to hit you home. And it's going to feel like a lot different than what it's been feeling recently.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling.
So
I feel like AJ just did it like as like not as a tease, but like a feel good moment because it's like I couldn't give you guys what you guys wanted, and that was for me to win. You guys have to understand. I'm 48 years old. I want to go home. I want to be with my family.
But here's also something that Rosenberg did say afterwards. He's like, "Look, I'm not saying I want AJ Styles to retire, but if he didn't and he went back to wrestling, the fan in me is going to pop even more.
Yeah,
because I want to see him wrestle." Do you think maybe this is something of a work?
I mean, dude, honestly, I told you on Saturday, and I still probably stick to my guns where I'm going to sit here and say, I feel like he's going to be independent within about a couple months, be at home with his kids, with his wife. Go ahead, man. That's awesome. Turn around and then go do that dream match with Kenny Omega, and then finish off your quote-unquote year-long career with TNA. Who knows if it's going to happen, though, because they are now partnered with WWE. So who knows what that's going to cost?
It wouldn't make any sense for TNA at that point. So that's why it's
like. That's why, like I said, it doesn't. That part doesn't make sense. But if you want that one final match, it's like, look, dude, the fans have wanted it. I want it. You want it. Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles at Blood In, Blood Out. Sorry, not Blood In. All Out or All In. One of those two.
Revolution.
Okay,
it's coming up in March. I would feel like that would be a good time for.
Well, that's why if he really wants to take his time though to like be with his family. Their version of WrestleMania, which is either All In or All Out.
It's just All In.
Okay, then All In. He's like, look, dude, All In, Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles one time. That's it. Doesn't matter who wins. I just want to give the fans what they want, and there I'll hang up everything. Hang up the gloves, the boots, the vest, everything.
Your favorite, the pants.
Absolutely, of course. Gotta have the pants.
That's what you told last time with Cena. If he leaves his jorts, then how do we know if he left it all in the ring, really?
Of course, 100%. You're the one that wanted the tidy whitey, so it's okay. So yeah, I hated it because the ref, you are supposed to. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You're supposed to lift up 3 times. The ref didn't. He only lifted up once. I don't think the 3 times matters. AJ was out. Don't think AJ will go to AEW.
Well, see, that's the thing. So that's a controversy thing nowadays.
Because that's what I brought up with Cena. I said, dude, I'm used to them doing it once, and then you're like, they've been doing it. I'm like, no, dude, I've seen multiple times where it's like one. done. All right, cool. We're gonna just ring the bell.
But before the Cena thing, I remember seeing him doing it
I've
3
seen
times.
it a couple of times, yeah. But I was like thinking the moment Cena went out, it was just one done, ring the bell. And then when they did it 3 times with Cena, it's like, okay. And then I was thinking the same thing as Wyatt. I thought, all right, cool, you're going to do it 3 times. AJ's going to get a pop, and then bang, bang, bang again, elbows to neck, whatever, and then back to the sleeper hold. That's what I was expecting. However, we got what we got.
I don't know. I felt like, I guess that's the only negative part during the match. It's just that he didn't raise up 3 times, which could have given more dramatic feeling. But yeah, I could see that point of view. It's just, I guess it was bad booking during that time. I mean, overall, it felt a lot better than what we got from the Cena's match. I felt like overall we got it better in this version of it, but I could see that point of view where the 3 hands up should have happened, would have added more dramatic feeling to it, and could have just felt overall better. What else we got?
That's what I just said. I don't think AJ will go to AEW. I already did the other 2 comments. I don't think the 3 times matters because AJ was out.
So I don't think AJ is going to AEW. I don't know, man. Never say never. It just seems odd that the man doesn't leave everything in the ring at that point. Seems a little odd, and seems I don't know where that's going to head up to for AJ in the future.
If you want to go based off of that, remember back when Undertaker lost to Roman Reigns, Taker left the gloves, the hat, and the jacket all in the ring.
But that's because he was actually supposed to retire, but the man changed his mind.
So this
like always.
That's why, I don't think that's why, we sometimes we look too much into things as a different way.
But he said it, like he was supposed to retire, but he changed his mind, and we got more matches afterwards.
Where the hell more matches?
Yeah, but he was supposed to actually just leave it all there. So when fans took it as retirement, they weren't wrong. They was actually supposed to retire then and there, but for some reason he decided to just come about and keep going.
Is that the year after, wasn't it, where he buried John Cena?
He buried John Cena. No. Sorry. He faced Bray Wyatt, I feel like.
He had faced Bray Wyatt before.
No, well, yeah, you're right. He faced Bray Wyatt before.
Because it was Wyatt, Punk, someone else, and then Roman.
And then he faced Cena and buried him.
And that was after Roman, because remember, Cena just kept doing the months-long promos by himself. I'm calling you, I'll take it. This was WrestleMania 34 because he lost him at 33.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so regardless, yeah. He came back, he did his thing, but he never fully retired. And this is the one thing that, I don't know. We don't know. We're going to see pretty soon how this goes about in the next couple of months if he does come back. I mean, by the end of the year, we'll find out.
By the summertime, probably.
Yeah. I mean, in the end of the year, because you never know when it's over,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see by the end of the year if Styles actually comes back or just calls it quits.
He did call it quits.
Yeah, so we'll find out, man. Hopefully, in the fan in me, I hope he comes back. I really do, because I think he still has a lot in the tank, and he's not in bad shape.
No,
for his age, he still could kick some fucking ass in the ring, and he still could put up a show. I think he's still young, and his body could still do it. But I mean, it's up to him in the end. If his whole, mindset's not there, there's nothing we could do about it. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to the next match, and this is Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn's match. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right. So what is the So what can we see the good part about this? Drew retaining is the best part of the match because and he won clean too. Made him look strong. The bad crowd, besides the entrance of Sami Zayn, was never invested in this match. Was quiet. They never seemed to get behind Sami. And to be honest, there was no reason for them to get behind Sami because it looks like Drew was basically squashing him throughout the match. And let me throw something out there. Is it already a little too late for Sami Zayn to have a Cinderella storyline? Because let me throw you something out there.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
So a couple of years back, when it looked like it was the perfect time to win his first title was against Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. During that whole, honorary segments and moments and betrayals and him hitting Roman with the chair and getting the biggest reaction when he was trying to save his buddy Owens. Don't you think maybe that was the best time to put the title on him? Mm-hmm. Didn't that make more sense than even Cody Rhodes at the time?
Yeah.
But we didn't get that. And we waited years and years later And maybe, I don't know, don't you think at this point it's kind of played out? Because look, it's not going to happen this year.
No.
And it might just happen next year when they go to Saudi Arabia. But don't you think it's a little too late already to have, Sami Zayn becoming finally World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion? Isn't it a little too late for his storyline? Don't you think the fans are kind of starting to fall off? I mean, he was in Saudi of all places that he should have got more pop during the match. But after the entrance, everything just felt flat. And it just felt boring, kind of. Like, the match, for me, the match was good because Drew won. And Drew won strong. But the match itself wasn't as great as it could have been either. It didn't really feel like there was much near falls from Sam. And it just felt like Drew just came in there and beat his ass all throughout the match. And that's it.
Here's what I would have done. Well, first, couple comments. You know who would be a good opponent for AJ? Joe. Let's go, Nick.
If he goes to AEW, you could have that match. Yeah.
Sammy experiment is over. Oh, sorry. One comment before.
Yeah.
One comment before. No, I don't think they should have put it on him at that time. So then during the Elimination Chamber with that match with Roman, that's what he's referring to. Sammy experiment is over, but and then here's kind of, I agree with him. It also followed AJ versus Gunther. So I think regardless whether you had the men's Royal Rumble, doesn't matter what match you had after AJ versus Gunther, the fans were no longer invested in it. If you think about the Royal Rumble, they really weren't that invested in it anymore. That AJ versus Gunther match sucked the life out of you. As a fan, it just really sucked. And then on top of that, with AJ losing, you really felt just a moral drop.
It didn't. Okay, so that was the case. Then why did Sammy get a really great pop?
He's not gonna pop because he's the hometown hero, dude.
Okay.
Like, they love this man.
So you're telling me, with that case being said, you're telling me that you still think somehow Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn had a better matchup than Gunther and AJ?
No, of course I'm gonna say that.
That's also one of the reasons.
Like, it doesn't matter what you had after AJ versus Gunther. You were not going to get the same pop or the same momentum or the same even tension.
You're not going to get the same
that
sentimental segment, but you could still got the same pop, the same near fall. But the issue is you follow up with the worst matchup. That should have been the matchup before because it wasn't as good as the matchup against AJ and Gunther as terms as quality of the match. Not because of the segment, but it was just the whole quality of the match. Because in the end, the men's Rumble, they did get invested. They got more invested with the women's. They got more loud. But at the same time, they also got short change, I feel like. Because, okay, let's just talk about, okay, so we'll move on to the men's Rumble. Okay, let's just talk about look, as term as excitement with the Rumble itself, I think this year we got a lot more excitement, a lot more moments.
Right in the back.
Yeah. So here's the issue. So the good part.
We had a Heat Fest.
We had Obafemi look great.
Hella strong.
The issue is that we get him eliminated by Brock Lesnar. Out of all people, you had Brock eliminate Obafemi. Make that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. You're trying to put the young talent over. Wouldn't that have made more sense for him to eliminate Brock at some point? And then the whole time we had a face-off. But we never really got that many interactions. And another issue for me for the Rumble is that I felt like it was too short, the entrances. So we'll have a guy come out like LA Knight, throw like 2 or 3 finishers, and we're on to the next guy already. And we're on to the next guy. I miss the old days when we had like 2 to 3 minutes of a wait instead of what it seems like 2 minutes now. You know what I mean? We had a little longer segments with each wrestler. But everything's like so fast paced. In the PLE, there's only 4 matches now.
Well, don't forget, Saudi had like the half-hour fireworks show after everything,
which had a better segment than most wrestlers in that Rumble in itself.
That's
but
right.
We're not even done with the bad segments either during the Rumble.
2 comments. Nick, any retirement should be in the main event. I agree.
But see, here's the thing: any retirement should be the main event, but not at a Rumble. This whole retirement angle shouldn't even happen at the Rumble. It should have happened at the Chamber. Should have happened at Mania.
They just didn't want to do Mania.
When have you seen a retirement match in the Rumble ever?
No.
Even Vince knew it was a bad idea. So If this was, look, I don't like to bring the old man back, but if this was Vince, even he knew this was a stupid angle to throw at the Rumble itself. Because you're taking away from that moment, but at the same time, you don't have it in that. You give it a special moment, like at Mania, like with Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels type of thing. Or give it a chamber segment. You know what I mean? During the chamber, have it towards the end. Or have it second to last. But it just didn't feel great, man, at a Rumble where it's the start of the year when everybody gets excited for Mania season. It was just a dumb idea overall. It really was. Not saying the match was dumb. And not saying that the two men, what they did was dumb. But booking-wise, it should never happen.
What about if it was AJ who said, I don't want to go to Mania. I don't want to go to Chamber. I
like
want to end it at... Because even he said himself, I don't want to go to Mania. I don't want my career to last all the way to WrestleMania. My career ends at the Royal Rumble because that's how long I signed for.
Well, at that point, there was no way to go about it because at the end of the day, I highly doubt that AJ is going to want to go as the main event. Because even him as a veteran, he's going to want these young guys to have their moments instead. You know what I mean? There was no winning in this one tonight.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like it wasn't the right call.
Because if that's what you're going about, I highly doubt AJ was going to take the spotlight away from the Rumble that night. Yeah. And even then, smart business move. It just didn't make any sense. It's the Rumble. It's the time of the year when the season starts for Mania. The time where you have the guy in the end close out the show, point out the sign. You know what I mean? Instead of us crying like grown men, crying like kids. From a guy who, unfortunately, we don't know his future in the next couple of weeks or months.
I learned that the Rumble's not. I learned that the Rumble's not meant for young talent to win. Historically speaking, the winner is always an established talent. The Rumble is just a match to showcase new talent, not win it.
Well, yeah, that's part of the issue too. Is that Roman won? Roman complained the night before to ESPN about WWE not establishing the new young stars or these young guys not getting themselves over very well, yet he takes the spotlight once again. Look, regardless of that, there's still a lot of bad things about this. One, Braun Breaker never got his proper horror of a heel run inside the Rumble like he should have got. Instead, gets attacked, gets eliminated pretty quickly. That was kind of a downfall. An excitement, a pop, a good feel moment at the time. Yes, because we popped like crazy. We didn't see that coming. But at the same time, it does kind of ruin his character a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's read another comment real quick.
Well, WWE proves Roman's statements to be right.
Well, in a way, yeah, but also Roman kind of contradicts himself because he says also these young guys need to step it up. How can they step it up if you're taking the spotlight? It doesn't make any sense, though.
Who was the final four? It was Logan Paul.
Wasn't it Randy Orton? Gunther?
Yeah, it was Logan, Randy,
Gunther, and Roman.
You see, now to the next point, I'll have this. Let's put it. You don't want the new talent to win it because it's not their time. They haven't established that connection with the fans. I get it 100%, no problem.
So what is it?
No. But here's something though. If you really want that young talent to start like making a name for themselves and really trying to like start etching their name in the fans' minds, you at least give them the final four. They don't have to be in the final two, but you at least give them the final four.
The guy that I agree that should have been on that spot, more likely than all of them else, would have been Logan Paul. Because I feel like that guy could be the future heel of wrestling and elevate others as well. But Randy Orton to be in the final four when he hasn't showed up much on TV didn't really make sense.
I would have put Javon Evans, man. That kid, you're going to start seeing him more, and the fans are loving him. And that young man is a great performer.
Gunther being number 30 didn't make any sense.
Well, he had declared himself for the Rumble,
but that didn't make any sense, and I'll tell you why. You have a match with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Who do you retire?
AJ Styles.
To make yourself look strong. Then you go to the Rumble as number 30th, but you don't win it. It kind of makes AJ Styles' whole retirement thing look like a fool because it looks like this guy couldn't even capitalize at number 30th and get in there and win the big one. But yet he retired Styles. to me, it just didn't make sense for him to even enter it in the first place. Just had to retire AJ Styles. It would have made everything made more sense if he had not even entered the Rumble, because at that point it just saves more the character development for Styles and Gunther. Gunther would come out still looking really strong instead of going into the Rumble and looking like a fool and couldn't even win it at number 30. I get that he was beat up a little bit, but you're entering late. You have the advantage, and you could have finished it.
I'll tell you this: if I was WWE, here's what I would have done to still help Gunther in this moment, because you already have heat because you beat AJ, you already beat Cena and everything, whatever. But as Gunther's coming in, and again, so back to what I was saying before. So I would say that at this point, again, this is how you protect Gunther, because you just had a hellacious match. And you see him walking in, he's hobbling like he's not doing good. Again, I get passports, all that stuff, no problem. I get that. But all that aside, if I was I would have put in Finn Balor to come in, attack Gunther, and then he inserts himself as number 30.
Or
because again, at this point, it's like you're trying to make Balor heel, and Balor saying to himself, "I want to be the guy again because you guys have overlooked me for so long. So this, I want to make my statements."
I'm not saying that's a bad segment. I'm not disagreeing with that. I could see that working. Or you could just put Finn Balor in instead. You could have just took the spot. I mean, you had a lot of people that somehow you didn't put one of your best kind of homegrown talent for the last couple of years being.
Yeah.
And one that's been having a lot of character redevelopment going on, and fans are kind of invested being there. Instead, you had La Parca, Mr. Iguana, hell, even the... Okay, so let's talk about this too. Even the Imposters Americanos, which, look, I love the segment.
Funny.
But it only lasted like 5 minutes. And then,
okay.
Well, regardless, it lasted a short time to the point where you had a returning OG Americano looking the best shape ever, getting himself into shape, and yet getting eliminated quickly, all for nothing.
Yeah. So
once again,
Phoenix going, dude, this is the moment where I was expecting the Lucha Bros to come back and actually do something,
but they never even got that point.
And Ray was in less than 30 seconds in the Rumble.
But even then, Penta was already gone.
But no, Penta came in after we got eliminated.
After, yeah, you're right.
That's what it's like. You could have waited for them to at least do something, to at least really start showing the fans, hey, look at this tag team that we actually have our hands together right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do anything. Couple comments though. Well, later on, Nick says, that's because they had 2 years to build a Roman Reigns level performer and they couldn't do it. So time's up. Go back to Roman. Makes sense.
I don't think it makes sense. It's just like they have people that the fans got over. You could have put the whole Rumble with LA Knight returning.
Yeah.
But yet we're still scared of that. And it's not that he's not developed himself, because he has. The fans still pop for him. Every single time he makes his debut, the fans go crazy. The fans are invested. The issue is Triple H, creative, don't see him as the guy. Even though the fans are invested in him, they don't see a guy like him being in the title scene. He cuts a good promo. He's a great worker.
Yeah.
And yet, every time they bury him, he still comes as popular than ever back to the scene. But yet, we could put a Jey Uso in the title scene instead. That doesn't make any sense how Jey Uso gets a title scene before LA Knight does.
Jey is more homegrown.
To a point, yes. But who's more popular?
Of course.
Even for the internet fans, even for the hardcore internet fans, we all could agree LA Knight's a better wrestler, a better promo cutter, overall better sense that he should have been the guy to win it, in my opinions. It felt like this was the year to finally give him the man the rub, especially all the shit that he took in Unreal and all that stuff we seen there. It just made a lot more sense. What else you got?
Yeah, another one. But it was Roman Reigns who eliminated him after a spear. He didn't pin nor submit him. Oh, I also comment for that. I look forward to Gunther versus Roman eventually.
That's just going to be a good match, actually. I would love to see Gunther versus Roman. They haven't ever faced. If I'm correct, they have never faced each other. I would really like to see that in the future. Maybe this year we'll get it. If
That'd be
Roman,
awesome.
if Roman somehow beats CM Punk at Mania, I think at some point we're gonna get that set up. Since at that point they're both being Raw, there's no reason for it not to work.
And it's like Road Dogg, Hayes, Pritchard speaking into Triple H's ear. LA Knight is both a better wrestler and better character than pre-show Jey Uso.
So it's guys like Road Dogg, Hayes, and Pritchard speaking into. I mean, look, in general too, Roman Reigns is his guy, because when the Shield started, or was it? No, actually it was Vince. Actually, if I'm correct, yes, it was Vince. But at the end of the day, I just don't see that HH likes LA Knight. I don't know what it is. It's just they don't like this guy.
It's because when he did the workout video and all you heard was, yeah.
It's the same thing with R-Truth. It's just like him getting released. You saw like that episode of Unreal when he got released. All the wrestlers backstage said that was a stupid idea.
Even they were like, we were surprised when we heard it.
But they also said like, no, that was a stupid idea. You shouldn't have done that. But yet, Road Dogg and Triple H is like, well, we didn't fire him. And Road Dogg's like, well, I can understand when he got fired. The issue was he never got fired. He got released. There's two different things right there. Regardless, let's just keep going forward.
R-Truth was a Vince guy.
Yeah, well, obviously. I think Vince really did love R-Truth.
He really did.
I mean, who doesn't? That guy's creative. But look, there's a lot of bad issues with that Rumble itself and a lot of bad ways to, go about it. I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I still don't see a reason why Roman should have won, but
I just feel at this point they should stop doing the Rumble overseas.
That's one way to start it.
No, honestly, that's the only way to do it. You can't do it in a Rumble overseas. It doesn't do the same thing.
You can.
Unless you're going to do it like England. Unless you're going to do it
that's what I'm saying.
Like France. Then, yeah, I see that.
Well, you're saying overseas. You mean just Saudi?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't do a Rumble in Saudi. But overseas, yes, you could still give these countries a Royal Rumble, and I'm sure they're all going to go crazy for that Royal Rumble. But, okay, let's talk.
In England, doing it in Scotland, they go fucking crazy on tomorrow.
So let's talk about another mistake that I think they made. Royce Keys coming out already quickly in his debut in Royal Rumble. Had no reaction, no pop. And it made sense why. But why he didn't get one? Because nobody knew who the fuck he was in that crowd. But why debut him at the Rumble? It didn't make any sense for it. Because he didn't really get much of a, like a oh shit reaction on the internet. Even then, it just fell short. Everything just fell short. Now, let me throw you another curveball here, all right? Who did it better this week? Tommaso Ciampa makes his debut at AEW Dynamite with the killer theme song, with this old Psycho Killer gimmick, as well as afterwards between the Briscoe and El Clone, I forgot his fucking name. But after their match, after Briscoe picked up the win, and afterwards, Ciampa comes out and looks at Briscoe like, I'm coming for your title. That was a killer debut. Had fans talking, had fans invested, whether it was good or bad comments, it had the fans invested. But when Royce Keys made his debut, it just kind of felt like we forgot about it.
It's because, I'll tell you, fan reaction at the event does go a long way.
Okay.
Because me and you were hyped when we saw it. However, if you're not hyped in person, the internet wrestling community is going to chew you out and tell you did wrong, you did bogus, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't know how to book a match.
But
yet, if you think about it, years ago, here in the States, Andrade El Idolo came back, got the same reaction as Royce Keys. And he was barely signed back to WWE.
Yeah.
So I feel that at this point, maybe stop bringing in the new talent into the Rumble. Bring them after. Meaning the Raw, the SmackDown, the NXT.
But look, Powerhouse Hobbs, or Royce Keys, whatever his name is now, he's not that same level of talent. He's just an NXT guy. He was never a big look as a hardcore fan, we knew who he was.
Of course.
Me personally, a fan favorite in my eyes. I like Powerhouse Hobbs. I always did. But in reality, as a casual, nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Sure.
This is the same thing as Ricky Saints. Look, as a hardcore fan, we know who he is. As a casual, nobody's going to know who he is. So guess what? We'll put Ricky Saints in NXT. This was going to be your reaction no matter what. It was a bad idea. It's a misstep. I don't know why they did it, but it happened. And next thing you know, Ciampa goes on to Collusion and actually beats Mark Briscoe for his title.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a pretty good crowd reaction for it. So right now it looks like AEW actually got one debut right, and WWE kind of just wasted that whole Royce Keys angle, in the bad time, bad place.
Yeah, I would do it when you are at a SmackDown and a Raw,
but
before. Actually, I mean after.
But that's the thing. You're telling this as in you think this guy's on the level of superstar stardom. I don't even think he's there technically. He's not known.
I even said NXT.
NXT.
That's what I'm saying.
I just say NXT, not SmackDown or Raw.
So again, NXT, you bring them in, and you go ahead and you go crazy from there because the fans are gonna pop for him because that's where your hardcore fans are. That's where your actual people who watch it, not your casuals, but people who watch it nonstop. They're gonna know who he is. The moment that they showed Powerhouse Hobbs and it switched it to Royce Keys, they would have gone crazy because we know who he is.
Yeah, because at that point you have to bank on a hardcore crowd if you're going on SmackDown Raw, and you have to bank on that because I don't think it's gonna happen on a SmackDown Raw. I just think you're on NXT and that's it. I think that's what's supposed to be his point of a debut, and I still think that's where he's gonna end up being anyways. So it didn't really matter at this point. You could have put Ricky Saints instead. It would have made more sense for Saints to be there instead of Powerhouse. But let's read some comments.
Simple comments. Top tier gaslighting by DX as usual, laughing my ass off by
What
Nick.
the hell?
Nick again. But Royce Keys is a terrible.
It is a fucking terrible name. See, I cannot get used to Royce Keys. So I'll give him this. I like the fact that WWE, as their entrance, did say Powerhouse Hobbs, formerly known, now known as Royce Keys. So I did like that they gave that
no homage,
which was shocking. But yeah. But do you like Royce Keys?
Not really. It doesn't have the same ring.
It sounds like a fucking car's name. Rolls Royce, and there's your keys.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
In my opinion, they should have kept his name as Powerhouse Hobbs, not Royce Keys.
At least maybe name it Powerhouse Keys. I don't know. Powerhouse Royce?
No.
But that's the thing. They're not going to keep Powerhouse Hobbs.
No, they're not going to because that's too much homage to AEW.
But I think the Powerhouse in itself should have been
just
kept.
Powerhouse itself. Take away the Hobbs, just Powerhouse.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He's a freaking Powerhouse himself. Why not? Just leave it like that.
Or Power Hobbs.
Power Hobbs or something like that.
Shorten it up, but I guess they this is the thing. WWE wants their own version of the name. So this is why we got this dumbass name in general. Next comment.
Name, like Mariah May. And last but not least, but then again, when John Cena first debuted, we all thought that was a jobber name. I honestly did think it was a jobber name.
Well, yeah. I mean, turned out to be pretty much the most recognizable name in the world.
Even when fucking Mark Jackson, right? Nick Jackson, one of them two, whoever fought the Big Show that one time on SmackDown. One of them two, and I was like, dude, that's a jobber name. Turns out to be the Young Bucks. Well, John Moxley actually won an event. I forgot who he was. I forgot who he's tag team with. But he's stretching. You literally hear them say, John Moxley. Now, one of the most famous names.
Well, that, and then we also see him as jobbers, so we don't see much of them at the time.
But again,
so it's the psychology of it. If we've seen them come in and they got their own entrance, I don't think we see them as jobbers. But if we see him as the guy that didn't even get an entrance, I guess except for Cena, he did get his entrance during that time. I think Cena was the exception. But when you're talking about Matt or Nick Jackson against the Big Show, they didn't get an entrance. Talk about Moxley, they didn't get an entrance during that time. Cena was the only exception with the whole rootless aggression angle going on. Yeah. But yeah, I can see what you guys mean by that. So let's talk about, so let's just talk about the good thing about this real quick. What's one of the good things? Give a positive review of this Rumble. I said excitement.
I'll give one more negative.
Okay, go ahead, nigga.
There was no wow factor.
Okay, I can see
Javon
that.
Evans making you have anxiety because he was going to get eliminated. Cool. But I think it would have been better if him and Logan Paul would have had like a Ricochet and Logan Paul moment from a few years back. That would have really put like a oomph on this Royal Rumble.
Can I throw you a theory?
Go ahead.
So, talking about time, everything seems rushed. We have one wrestler out, and then we have a countdown going on like 30 seconds later. What if we stretch it, have them wrestle, and that way we could get our wow factor during the wrestling, and then do it the old school when they finally showed up on the, on a period of time, not all quickly. Because it seems like we're having so much, next guy. We don't have too much camera angles on the right spot. Because if you remember correctly, your boy Jay did the whole Yeet thing, and we didn't see Brock getting eliminated.
No.
And when we did, we got a real replay of what just happened, but we missed it because Jay had to run it back, which was kind of dumb. But you get what I'm saying. You have too much entrances coming out quickly, too much people coming out quickly, and not enough time on these superstars to do their spots.
Well, I think at this point, between you and me, the Rumble's not a place for you to do your entrance. Cody Rhodes doing his entrance was stupid.
It was.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I love Cody. Cody's actually my guy. I actually still like him to this day. Don't get me wrong, his gimmick is getting a little stale. However, though, I just don't think the Rumble is your place to do your spot, dude. You had how many people come in? I think only 1 and 2 should do their entrance like that. Okay, Funk came in, he did his thing. And, Mankind came and did his thing. But it's like nowadays, it's like everyone's gotta do like their moment, and it's like the Rumble's not the place to do it. It's you're literally trying to go in, do what you have to do, and walk in. Stone Cold he would just walk in. He wouldn't even talk his trash. He'd just walk in and just take off his vest or wouldn't even take it off and go forward.
Because okay, so you talk about your like wow factor. You made a good point with that. So put it this way: when wrestlers used to come running into the Rumble, you know why they came in running into the Rumble? Because at the time when their numbers was getting count, these wrestlers knew to hit the spot of, all right, let's get someone trying to get almost eliminated. Mm-hmm. So when the next guy come over, he could either help us eliminate him or eliminated himself. But yet everybody was just more on the ground, all knocked out the whole single time. It felt like they were missing a lot of those close elimination spots.
Did you notice it all felt more rushed after Austin did what Austin did back in 97?
Yeah, but it was still kind of like...
No, because I mean, I watched so many times the 98 Rumble and all those Rumbles after 97, and it felt rushed. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of how much, and again, even when Lesnar did it, because it was like, you were just having the guy, and it's like, if you're going to do 90 seconds of him just standing there, what's he going to do? So it's like, all right, cool, next person. I feel like ever since, like, especially after Brock's Rumble, it was like, yeah, just send them out.
I felt like it was 17 that really got starting to pick it up. Because I felt like everything else was always kind of like giving us a story in the ring.
Yeah.
But I felt like 17, like 2017, felt like they started getting to that point. Let's shorten the intervals and let's have it more quicker. Because then 2018 added the women's. And I felt like they had to shorten everything up real quick. A couple of comments
from Nick. I thought the crowd gave AJ the respect he's earned. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
How about the 10 minutes worth of fireworks for Roman at the end, man?
Oh my fucking god! It was like 15 to me.
I just know it's for the ones. Unless you are Titus, Nick. Unless you are Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil, man, gets his own moment. He made his moment. He didn't even get it. He created it.
That's it. To this day, it will always be a moment.
Yeah, now he's an ambassador of the.
Okay, honestly, man, and it's all because he tripped. But again, no, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is the fact that, like, dude, Cody did his entrance was stupid. Jay did his entrance absolutely stupid. You are literally cutting off times from us to get the wow factor, the it factor, the really let the match simmer in us. We're not having the best Rumble experience so far leading up to it. Motherfucker, shut up and just dive right in.
Stop dancing.
Stop dancing, stop eating, stop anything. But it's like, they treat it like a regular match, man. And I'm like, it's not a regular match. This is the Royal Rumble. This is the thing that's going to kick off, and it's going to tell us kind of what to prepare for WrestleMania. And we're going to get fireworks entrances we had to, because even you and I know this. Cody did his firework entrance, walked in, How many seconds later, it's like they're already counting the next person. Jay comes in, walking in, he's got to do his yeet, and it's like, it's not a fucking Monday Night Raw. It's the Royal Rumble, dude. Run in. And if I was Triple H, I'll tell guys, listen, guys, we're not going to do your stupid little ass yeet. We're not going to do your whoa. I don't give a rat's ass what you think. Run in and do what you have to do.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point,
everyone wants the damn stupid woo and the damn stupid yeet.
Well, if you watch Unreal, none of these wrestlers control their spots.
Yeah, I know.
So it's actually creative. They control every single moment. So Triple H, Abius, all those guys, Michael Hayes, they control every single moment. They're always shouting at the referee's ears, tell them to do this, tell them to not miss their spots. So unfortunately, it's them thinking that this is right now, that we have to do all this stupid crap.
I'm not gonna lie. I miss Vince for the Royal Rumble.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about. Look, you know what? There's not that much good shit that we can really say about the Rumble. So let's just go into the aftermath of the Rumble, and let's talk about the whole chance that Triple H received on the post press conference while he was sitting behind. You had all the fans once again behind and chanting AEW, We Want Vince, Y2J, boo, and all this other stuff. So if you look at his reaction, especially in the Y2J, it had him stuttering. And I felt like he was pissed because out of all places, I felt like he expected Saudi to have his back. Instead, nobody liked it. Everybody, Baldy, right? Baldy. So that's actually my favorite. But regardless, he expected Saudi to have his back. That's why he showed up. Because he didn't want to show up before after he got booed from the Cena match. He got scared kind of. Because his ego kind of got to him like, I don't want to get booed. I want to be loved. I want to be like my father-in-law. I actually want to be loved by the fans. So he didn't want to show up from these press conference anymore. But he went to Saudi's press conference because he thought, I think I'll be safe here. I think
he's shit for him.
Yeah, because I gave these fans what they want. I give the Saudi, Prince, or whoever's running that stuff, what they want. So I'm going to get cheered. He got out there and he got torched by the fans. And that Y2J chant really got to his ass. Like you could tell he was stuttering at some point. And the whole We Want Vince got him. And notice that he was too scared to smart mouth these people this time. Because before he was like, I thought you guys would be louder. Like all of a sudden he got really quiet. Yeah.
That's why.
And I don't know, man. The fans out there are spoken. That these guys want Vince, which if I don't know about you, dude, if that doesn't piss you off and that doesn't make you want to do a game changer, I don't know what will. It just seems like Triple H is too scared to change something up, to be the heel, take that heel authority figure himself and embrace it. I feel like he still tries to be that, everybody has to love me, man. I ain't like my father-in-law. I want to be loved by the people. Instead, he's ignoring it, which I don't think helps him. I feel like he should go in his Vince mode and fully embrace all the bad heat at this point because it's not making him look good at all.
Well, we had our moments where we love Vince. We had our moments where we hated Vince. We had our moments where we cheer for Vince. Whenever the no chance in hell played, we were excited for it. The moments where the moment it started, we booed the living hell out of it.
But can you not tell me that we respected Vince's character on the screen? You can't say that he was one of the best heel characters of all time.
And that's what I think. So again, back to what I was gonna say, is the fact of we love him, we hated him, all whatever, right? I just feel that Triple H is too much of the, I have to be. I was like in NXT. Everyone loved me in NXT.
It's too much ego,
and you're gonna love me here too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like at this point, whether you're bad guy, whether you're good, that doesn't matter. I think at this point, start feeding into that negativity, because remember there was moments, and hell, he was a part of those fucking moments too, where people would boo Vince, but they cheered him. So it was like, dude, you know what? I know what to do. To me, Triple H in that era was one of the best heels to ever work the fucking mic, and Triple H can still do it.
I don't want to say he was best in the mic.
I said one of the best. I'm not saying the best. One of the best.
I don't know about best. What would you consider best, though, bro? Top 5? Top 10? I give him top 10. I think there were just better people on the mic than him, even then, heel-wise. I think he was just one of those guys that you hate it, and you hate it, and you hate it. You can't tell me Evolution Triple H was your favorite. Nah. But he was just that guy that you needed on that role. But I don't consider him one of the greats. I just think his ego gets to him, bro. Because it's like we have to see him in all these commercials of WrestleMania 42 games now.
Games.
It's getting crazy, and I feel like his ego's not allowing him to go fully heel and do the right thing to give the fans what they want finally. And some good ass writers. Half these guys don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You saw that comment from Michael Hayes that says, "I don't see Chelsea Green being on the level of Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair." It's stupid.
That was the stupidest thing. I said, "Are you serious, motherfucker? Do you understand who Chelsea Green fucking is?"
Michael Hayes has done some good stuff back in the days, right?
Back.
But your time's up, dude. And so is the Raw Dog. And so is the rest of the guys. Like, Triple H is not going to be out, but it's just getting ridiculous. Couple of comments.
A lot of comments. Jey Uso eating in the middle of a match like Rikishi dancing in the Rumble. Here's the difference, though.
I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the difference. They had a Too Cool segment, and then after that, Rikishi eliminates Too Cool. So I understand where you're coming from. However,
run it back.
Jey Uso yeeting and then 3 punches and then goes back to yeeting. It's like, dude, no. Because you didn't eliminate anybody. You didn't put yourself as a dominant force or even show us why the fuck you deserve to be champion for God knows how many months a year ago. You didn't do anything. All you did was just like, so I'm just going to hear this the whole damn time. Everyone's going to love it. It was the stupidest thing. The guys outdone. Mind you, if they would have had the moment where it's like, cool, you know what? I'm going to pretend I'm going to yeet with Roman and I'm going to stick him. That would at least would have done something. That at least would have made the fans even more like in his favor. Like, dude, yeah, you know what? I could see that happening the way Rikishi did to Too Cool.
Yeah.
But instead, though, he's the one that got punched by his cousin. What the fuck? That's one. The next one is Baldy. That chat. I'm sorry about this.
I always laugh every time I hear Baldy. That's why.
That chat offends me because I'm bald.
I mean, I get that, Nick.
I'm baldy myself, so hey.
We're all getting old. We're all gonna bald. It's middle. Hey, look, man. In the end of the day, it happens. It's part of being a man for most of us.
I mean, you see
part
the
of
man there. No, sorry,
it's part of being manhood. Man, ain't no shame about that.
And then on this side, yeah.
Look, sometimes you embrace you just embrace it, man.
Embrace it. So you're fine. But these fans do not know what they're asking for when they say we want Vince.
I would say that.
So you say you want Lesnar versus Reigns for the 1,000th time? Yeah, no thanks.
Look, I get that. I agree with you. I don't want Vince back. It's what's it called? It's like the new. So put it this way: it's like the new CM Punk chant. Remember back in the day when CM Punk left, and every segment that you thought it was boring and stupid, we would chant CM Punk. CM Punk. This is their new chant. This is we want Vince. We want Vince.
But eventually, though, when it happens, then what?
When we're just gonna be like, we want H. we want Baldy.
I just feel like, because dude, I was there live when Punk came back. That was a lot of people getting annoyed. Like, Punk's not coming back. And I was one of the people like, man, I'll just shut up. It's been fucking years. Just shut up already, for God's sakes. And then don't get me wrong, when he came out, I got hyped. I'm not gonna fucking deny it. But at the same time, I was like, dude, these chants get just so fucking annoying. I take back the what over the we want Vince. That's just me, though. Last but not least, last comment from Nick. Overall, I think younger talent may have way more potential under this administration than it did under Vince's. I agree.
Yeah, 100%. So you're not wrong with that. Nick, I 100% agree with you. I think if this was during the Vince's era, I would say he liked Gunther. So Gunther would still got pushed. Roman would still got pushed.
Randy was still going to push as number 3. Then number 4, you would have someone that doesn't belong in the final 4.
You would have loved his big guys. I would still see Braun Breaker getting up there.
I probably would have seen Obafemi.
Obafemi, Braun. I want to see, I don't know. One of those guys would have to job out.
Final 4 would be Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Gunther, and Roman Reigns. That's your final 4 in the administration.
Instead of Gunther, you have Goldberg come back.
Yep. That was under your Vince administration. There's your fucking Final Four.
Goldberg, one of these old legends. This fucking old ass motherfucker.
Barely walk, but there it is.
So yeah, dude, it would. What was the guy? He said Vince's greatest accomplishment turned Shinsuke into WWE rockstar. Named Keith Lee Bearcat and named Piper Niven. Dude, oh yeah, I remember that. It was funny too that Vince McMahon wanted Adam Cole to be what's it called, Keith Lee's manager, or manager of Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this ideas were really crazy, and that came about. And we saw the results of that era. It was disappointing because Keith Lee had all the potential in the world, and unfortunately they fumble with that, as well as Karrion Kross, because that was under Vince's era too. So it wasn't just H that fumbled with Karrion Kross; it was Vince that started it, and it was hard to recover. And when he did, yeah, obviously it just didn't work out for him. We got one last segment, and let's just talk about this whole SG3. What you want to talk about this week,
brother? I want to talk about Ava walking away from WWE.
You're talking about the Rock's
daughter, yeah.
Okay.
Simone Johnson herself decides to walk away from WWE. She herself has said that I'm basically done. That last week, Tuesday, was the last time we're going to see her on WWE TV. She did not extend her contract. Basically, no write-off, nothing. She just said, I'm done with WWE. I appreciate they offered me a contract extension, but I did not take it. Her last words were, this past Tuesday, and I'll quote her, this past Tuesday was my last appearance on NXT and subsequently WWE. Thank you to all who have cheered, watched, and supported me through my journey. On my decision to not renew my contract was very difficult. Also, a new turning point in my life. It has been an honor and a privilege to be Ava.
So, are you gonna miss him? Ava, is anyone gonna miss Ava out there? Personally, me speaking, when she first started wrestling back in the day in NXT, I didn't think she was good. I didn't think she was good mic work. I didn't think she was a good wrestler. I think she just lacked everything. She wasn't like naturally good like The Rock was, being a second generation wrestler.
And that's why she left and didn't sign back.
Well, she didn't wrestle. That's the thing. She was a NXT manager. And at that point, as manager, she didn't have much of a role besides just being in the spotlight, cutting a few promos. But it always seemed awkward. I don't think it was the fact that she left because of that. I felt like it was the fact that her girlfriend got fired or let go. And also some other things politically too, I think bother her. Kind of like the Mick Foley situation as well. Because afterwards we did get her a tweet that so like I said, we had a couple of tweets right after she got let go that, were against a certain, group of individuals. And we're not trying to get political. Everybody has their own opinions. It's cool. But regardless, it went really crazy. Overall, I'm not going to miss her because I never thought she had potential. I thought she only got the job for this long being The Rock's daughter.
Yep.
Because if it wasn't for The Rock being the board of member of TKO, I don't think she would have lasted this long. And I felt like they gave her that role of manager because, like, fuck, we don't want you on screen as wrestler because you're not that great. We'll just give you this manager role. Fuck it, just give her something. That way, The Rock's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And now that The Rock and I think the wife have some sort of like studio, like a film studio or something going on. Like they have this side business. I think the daughter's gonna be part of it. But I think she got just fed up with the political views and the fact that they let her partner go at some point earlier throughout the weeks, that she just got fed up with everything. I think she's done with wrestling.
I think so too.
And I'm not disappointed on that just because I just felt like there was nothing there ever.
I remember when she came in, a lot of people were like really excited. And then it's like, what was
the next time? Remind me.
I will. So I remember like when she first started wrestling, it was like, cool, here she is, rock star, blah, blah, this and that. Ava, I forgot the last name, but Ava's back and whatever. And then all of a sudden it goes from that to she's now the general manager. I'm like, that was quick. I was like, that was really quick.
It was. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like I said, I'm not going to really make a big deal out of this just because I just think she just got lucky to have that spot. I think this
She
could
got
have
a
been.
really blast.
I think at this point they'll find a better manager to suit NXT.
Well, that's one thing what they're saying is Shawn Michaels going to be the
And I'll actually really get invested if that's the case. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Couple comments though, very quickly. Nick responded to us saying, "Nah, he's not going to miss her." I thought she left because of WWE's affiliations with the current presidential administration and something to do with ICE.
So it is part politically.
Yeah.
But it's also that her partner got released from WWE, which I feel like that's also played a part into it.
Who was her partner?
She was dating this one women wrestler in there.
Mm.
Yeah, so she was working, and then eventually she got released because I think she didn't make the cut. And I feel like that had to do too at the same time. Like, well, fuck, this is I don't want to be here if she ain't here. So I feel like that was it. Plus that. All build up, and I feel like The Rock and his wife had like some sort of thing going on, like another business that's about to build up, and I feel like she's probably going to get into that mix. She's going to work under her dad's name, basically, even though she says she wants to make a name of her own. In reality, dude, it's I don't know, dude. Being on The Rock's shadow, yeah, good luck with that.
Hold on, a couple comments. One of them actually, Nick agrees with you. There's a lot of weight you carry being The Rock's daughter.
Yeah,
Ava has a lot of maturing to do. Just saying.
Yeah, she does. I mean, but she's still young. Look, man, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think as far as her wrestling career, I feel like it's over.
It's over.
Yeah, she'll probably make like a special guest appearance in NXT once in a while, because The Rock's still gonna be around,
of course.
But her whole GM, her whole full-time gig, that's done with. That's goodbye.
She was considered full-timer? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, she was being GM every week, so technically full-time. But regardless, I don't think really much of us is going to miss her. I think she's just got that spot, obviously being affiliated with The Rock. But
pretty much.
Yeah. But regardless, man, look, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's been beautiful. It's been great. It's been lovely. Honestly, man, it's been a good stream. SG3, I want you to close it out for us, buddy.
Y'all know how it goes. Every single Monday, we're here after Raw. All we ask you guys to do is put that little notification on, letting you guys know when we go live. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate the conversations. Thank you all for watching us. We'll see you all next week.
Oh, yeah.